Hello, V Gates. My name is Monica Lana. This is Books and Beauty, where I talk about books while doing my makeup. So I wanted to be cool and join in with the cool kids on the book community and do the mid freakout tag, which is basically just a few questions talking about some of the books that you have already read for this year. So first question is, best book you read so far in 2021? This is hard, as I'm sure a lot of people can deal with and stuff like that, but I'm going to give it up to The Sound of Gravel. And the reason I'm going to do that is because, one, this is an amazing book, but it has enlightened me in the world of cult memoirs, because this one is about a girl who grew up in FLDS cult polygamy and like seeing her mom go through it and stuff like that. And it's so sad, so many deaths and so much just like weirdness of like how they grew up and stuff like that, and like where her mom went through for being in this cult, and like how her husband treated her and how she had to deal with like the sister wives and stuff like that. And because of this book, I have read so many more cult memoirs and like focusing on the polygamy cult, but I've also branched out into Scientology, the West Baptist Church. One was like a doomsday kind of like dad, so they lived a little weird because of him. So yeah, I will give this book credit in the sense of like, I am now a very big fan of kind of more memoirs, whereas I used to never be. I never wanted to read anybody's memoir, but now I'm like, you grew up in a cult. Tell me more about it. The best sequel you read so far in 2021, I'm gonna have to give it up to At Your Age, Eve Brown. And the reason is because I've read a few sequels this year and none of them have actually been good in my opinion. This is the only sequel that I've read so far this year that I'm like, yes, this one was great. This is actually my favorite because it's a trilogy, and this is the third one in the trilogy about the Brown sisters that I 100% think this is my favorite one, because the other ones were kind of okay. Like, I thought they were cute, but this is the only one that I really enjoyed the couple and the situation. So like Eve Brown basically is the young sister of the Eve Brown, of the Brown sisters. And she kind of gets forced by her parents to like get a job and hold a job for a year. She's kind of somewhat of a flake and doesn't know what to do, and she's always had money to like fall back on, and her family's like, no, we're gonna cut you off for at least a year and you're gonna have to like work on your own. And so she does, kind of by accident. She goes to I think it's like a bed and breakfast, and accidentally runs over the owner. And because she runs him over, she helps out because of course the owner's in the hospital. And then they just decide to keep her along because she's actually kind of good. She has a good personality and stuff like that. So they're like, fine. And the two of them don't like each other at first, but then of course, eventually they start to like each other. It's super cute. New release you haven't read yet, but want to. The new Taylor Adams book is Harpin Bridge. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. That one is actually on my Audible, like right now. I will probably start that one today. And the reason I'm starting it, I don't even really know exactly what it's about, but it's from the same person that did the No Exit book that is so good. I'm not expecting this book to be as good as No Exit, but I'm hopefully going to enjoy it. And the reason I say hopefully is because I have read a few of the authors that I trust have come out with some books this year so far, and none of them have really been that great. Like, some of them have been okay, but not great. So I'm hoping that this author will surprise me and this will actually be a great book and not just like, okay, well, that was a thing. The most anticipated release of the second half of the year. I don't even feel like I need to really say much, but Karen Slaughter is coming out with a new book next month called The False Witness. I have absolutely no idea what it's about, and I don't care. Don't care. Karen Slaughter comes out with something, I will pick it up. I don't care what it's about. This one is actually a standalone, so that's cool because she doesn't do a whole bunch of standalones. She's only done like I think 4 standalones. So versus like all her series books, because I think Will Trent has like 7 books in his series. So I'm like, this will be interesting just because she doesn't do a lot of standalones. So I'm so excited. I have no idea what it's about. I don't even know if I'm really even gonna bother reading the synopsis. I don't care. Just give it to me. Like, I don't care. Biggest disappointment. I have kind of 2 answers for this. The first one is just a sad response. It's not the worst. It's just more of a like, it's kind of sad that it wasn't that great. Was The Minders by John Mars, because The One and The Passengers by John Mars, I love so much. They're so good. They so remind you of like a Black Mirror episode. And this is like the 3rd book kind of in that universe, but it's not as good. It's just kind of like, I didn't hate it as much as the book community did. I think so many people in the book community literally gave it like a 1 or a 2. I gave it a 3 because I was entertained and I still love the world. It's just more of a, I would agree that between all 3 of them, this is the least good one. It's kind of more or less of like, oh, I think you've just kind of, no offense, but you probably have played this hand a little too much at this point, that it's like, hopefully this is actually kind of the last one, because I don't know if he could recover and try to do a 3rd one unless he dramatically changes up the formula, because it's like, I don't know, it wasn't that great, and it's just kind of sad that it wasn't great. But like, I don't think this is the worst one. The worst one is The Maidens by Alex Melades. I don't know how to say this correctly. I never know how to say people's names correctly. I hated this book. So he had The Silent Patient, was it last year or the year before? That one was good. I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but it was good. It was definitely good. This one sucked. Like, and so many people are giving this book like 4 stars and saying how good it is. And it's like, am I missing something? Am I missing something? Because one, I don't understand, like, it wasn't at all surprising. The twist was not surprising. Soon as they mentioned one character in particular at some point, I was like, well, clearly this person has something to do with it. So I'm not shocked when they did. I didn't know why they did it. That was, I guess, shocking. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, cool. But the biggest problem that I had was the main character. First of all, why is she investigating these deaths? She's not a detective. She doesn't work there. She doesn't even live in that area. She has literally inserted herself for no reason, and people are allowing her to be inserted. Like, she's asking questions and going into people's rooms, and I'm like, why is this even being allowed? But even if she is, okay, she inserted herself, she's now investigating. Why is she acting so damn scared? The whole damn time, she's so scared. And I'm like, either, do what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to be doing this anyways, but do it with some type of confidence, or go home. Because she was just complaining about being scared about this person, and like literally everything around the corner was like spooking her. And I was kind of like, go home then. Like, why are you here? Why are you investigating? You don't even know these girls. Why are you investigating? I was so bored. I was so annoyed. I was so just ready for it to be over with. And when it was over with, I was like, that literally was not at all surprising. I knew this was going to happen. The minute they said that person's name, at one point, I was like, it's obvious. It's real fucking obvious what's about to go down. So I was not surprised. And as you can tell, how upset I am. I think it's just because so many people were praising it. Like, so many people were praising it that when I got it, I was expecting to love it. That the fact that I hated it is just like, I'm bitter. I'm bitter at all y'all for saying that it was so good, because you're wrong. And I don't understand how you're so wrong. Like, how am I the only person over here just like, no. I don't know. I think it's because of the author, because that's the only problem with like hyped authors. Sometimes they have a really good book that their second book just automatically becomes like a 5-star, and it's like, not really. At least not in my opinion. I mean, besides Karen Slaughter, she's the only one that I'm like, yes, I love everything she's done, but I'm a little biased when it comes to that. This person, Yeah, nah. This sucked. The biggest surprise, Take It Back by Kaya Abdullah. Like I said, can't say people's names. This one, so I got this recommended. I was watching some live feed and I got this one recommended and I put it in my my wish list and I ended up getting it. I forgot actually all about it, and like one day, I think I had it for like 3 months. When one day I was like, you know what, I should probably like actually get to this book. Like I got it. I don't remember what it was about. It was so good. It's about a girl who may or may not have gotten gang raped by these Muslim boys. And it kind of turns into a legal thriller slash a race thing, a religious thing, a deformity thing, because she's deformed. So they're all like, well, why would she be raped? They wouldn't rape a deformed girl, and it'll make you mad. But there's quite a bit of twists in it. Like what is perceived, like just like any legal situation, what people say happens may be somewhat skewed. It's like, yes, parts of it. So you're trying to figure out which parts will actually happen and which parts, you know, where you side with, and it will make you kind of flip-flop. Like I feel like a jury person would flip-flop, and so good. This is very much reminiscent of like The Night Swim, but I will 100% say that this is way better than The Night Swim. 100%. If I had to pick between the two of them, this one is way better than The Night Swim. Favorite new author, I'm gonna say Anthony Horowitz. It's not a new author, but like it's new to me. And the reason I say that is because I have recently found the Magpie Murders, and then like he has like another series, and it's like The Word is Murder and the Sentence is Death, and then I guess there's gonna be another one in that series, and then I'm waiting for the second Magpie book. I have loved these. I binge read these because they're kind of a, how do you say, a classic mystery book without the dialogue. Because the problem that I have with classics is the old dialogue. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with old dialogue. I can't deal with it. So this is kind of like me being able to experience that kind of like classic whodunit, small town, there's a detective type of thing, without having to cringe at the old dialogue. So yeah, I don't know, he's just become, so I'm waiting for the second Magpie, and then like I said, there's supposed to be a third one in the other series, and like I will get them. They are really good. I do think that there's some problematic problems with the other series. I forgot what it's called. Anthony series or something like that. I'll talk about it in my wrap up, but there is a little bit of an issue that I have. But at the same time, I'm like, at this point, I'm willing to kind of like look over it. And then if he continues it, maybe I'll change my mind. But for now, I'm really loving it. I will not go back and do his backlist because I guess he's done like children, like fiction, sci-fi books or whatever. Don't care for those. I'm here for like the cozy murder mysteries. Anything else, I won't be getting into it. Newest fictional crush. I feel like I'm going to be judged for this one, but you know what? I don't care. Y'all can judge me all you want. Jake, the dad from Credence, from Penelope Douglas. Let's just say when he spanked her, I wouldn't have mind had that been me. So it's funny because like Caleb, I actually don't mind Caleb. Noah from Credence, absolutely despise him. He is such a whiny little baby and he thinks he's really entitled to her coochie, and it's like, no. But like the dad, I understand. Okay, spoilers by the way, if you never wrote that. I understand why she doesn't stay with the dad and she gets with one of the sons. That's as far as I'm gonna go. You're gonna pick which one it is. But like, I understand why she doesn't stay with the dad, and she kind of, but like, oof, their chemistry to me was the best. And the fact that he was kind of aggressive to her and stuff like that, and he like spanked her at one point to punish her was like, ugh, I was like, you know what? I need to not be in that house because I would let him do that too. But yeah, he is 100% my male crush. And I understand it's age gap, and some people are very squeamish with that. I don't care about age gap. If you are a sexy silver fox, hit me up. The newest favorite character, Dee Dee Warren from Lisa Gardner's series Dee Dee. Yeah, Dee Dee Detective. She's my favorite. I love her. I have read all of her books from this series. I've loved all the ones that she's actually in it, because the first two she's like mentioned, but she's not actually in it, and I'm really upset because those books sucked. But all the other ones that she's in, so good. She's such a bitchy kind of lady, and she gets shit done, and I love it. Like, she's in a weird way like the female version of Will Trent. I mean, they're not the same character, like, because Will Trent is actually kind of a shy guy versus Dee Dee is not, but like it satisfies my need of detectiveness in like a female version. So instead of having Will Trent, I have Dee Dee, and yeah, I love her. I can't wait for the next book. Who knows when the next book is coming, but I will 100% get it if it's with Dee Dee. And yeah, so a book that made you cry. So I don't really cry. I'm not a big emotional person. I am not. Believe me, you can ask anybody that's like really my friend or see me. They know I'm not really an emotional person. I'm pretty heartless in a way. But there is one book, surprisingly, that did get me slightly teared up. And it got me teared up for a very personal reason. So Educated is a memoir. It's about a girl who grew up with a doomsday dad, and the mom, I guess, she's kind of one of those oils ladies, so they kind of live very unconventional and everything like that. But there's one part in particular, and I did not know that this was going to be part of it. She is abused by her brother. It's not sexual abuse, but he used to like kind of beat her, hit her, basically scare her, and she kind of, in a way, I guess you could say, chopped it up like, oh, he was just having a moment. Like, you know, when it's your family member, you know how to make excuses and everything like that. And eventually she stops making excuses. She starts realizing like he was actually really abusive and everything like that. I almost teared up at one point, and the reason is because this is very personal. I'm not gonna get into big details, but my brother was very abusive to me. Like, I've been beat, I've been hit, I've had my hair pulled. Me and him do not talk. I haven't spoken to my brother in years, and that literally hurt me so much because I was like, I'm slightly getting flashbacks right now while sitting here reading this, and it like took me off guard because I had no idea that this was going to be a part of it. So it just kind of like hit me in the sense of like, oh shit, I'm dealing with my own trauma right now while trying to read this. And I was just like, no. I was like, I'm good. So yeah, I almost did. Like, I almost really did tear up for the mere fact of like, lady, I can relate, and I am so sorry. And it was just like, it almost got me. I did not cry though, because I'm not a big crier, but I almost did for like a quick second because of how much it just hit me. She just all of a sudden started talking about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I understand. A book that made you happy. Spoiler alert, by Olivia Dade. This book was so cute. It's about basically a fat woman. She calls herself fat. She is part of a kind of a Wattpad thing, a fiction community on the internet about like shows that fan fiction. There we go. She's part of a fan fiction thing, and so this other guy who's actually on the show, but he can't say he's part of this fan fiction because I think he could technically get fired, but he does write fan fiction. Well, they're really friends on the internet, but at the same time, they don't really actually know each other in real life. He ends up finding out who she is, and they go on a date, and he doesn't tell her that he knows who she is, because he was like, I can't tell her this. And it kind of ends up being a conflict and stuff like that. And they also have like family drama in a way, and I don't know, it was just really cute. Like, it was cute, and it was also a little bit heart-wrenching, because like, she has family drama because her dad basically doesn't like her because she's fat, and he has family drama because like his intellectual parents kind of don't understand why he's an actor. Like, they don't think that's a good profession. And it's a whole bunch of like family issues, while at the same time them trying to be together. And then of course his conflicting of like, I know who she is and I can't tell her that I know who she is. And yeah, it ends up, you know, being part of it later. The next one is The Most Beautiful Book You've Bought or Received This Year. I mean, I don't really buy a lot of books. I do a lot of like library stuff, but I guess it would be, I think it was like Her Dark Lies. I'll pop a picture. I do have the book. It's back there and everything, because it's just pretty in the sense of like, it's like the mountain and like the ocean and stuff like that. So like, I would say that's the prettiest book that I own as of this year. But for the most part, I don't really do books all that much, or I don't really buy them because, I don't know, I just don't really buy them all that much. I either do the library or I do like Audibles and stuff like that. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? So pretty much everything that's on my Audibles, I need to read. Everything that's anticipated. But I'm gonna pick one in particular just to like actually answer this question. And that is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. And the reason is because I've had this book on my Audibles. I have it. I've had it for months now. And I know that I'm going to like it. Like, I have a good feeling that I'm going to like it, because from my understanding is this is a kind of sci-fi thriller, basically kind of like Black Mirror, and anything to do with like Black Mirror, I'm all for. But I just haven't actually gotten to it. I really don't know why. But everybody that I watch on BookTube that I'm like, that for the most part we have similar tastes, have loved it. And I'm like, I don't know why I haven't gotten to this one. So this is one that is like 100%. I will get to this one this year. I will do it. I'm going to do it. And I think there's like a second book that hopefully, if I do like Dark Matter, I can go to the second book, just because, you know, it's actually there for me to consume if I do like it. So yeah, that's like the main book that I'm like, yes, I look at it all the time, and for some reason I just have yet to actually do it, and I don't know why. So me putting it out into the universe is going to make me do it. Well, anyway, so that's the end of book tag. I did very simple makeup because I'm pretty much gonna go walk the dogs and go to the pool and stuff like that. So I will probably take this off shortly. But hope you guys have a good day. Yeah, just